Um, First of all, if you can't understand me, I'm sorry. If you can't understand me though, I'm sorry. I got to some people, at least in my family, I got a really bad hillbilly accent. I'm from West Virginia. I live in Appalachian, so yeah. I either talk too fast or I be slurring my words, so it is what it is. What else? And if my eyes look a little funny, maybe I look cross-eyed, it's because I had to take my glasses off because I don't know. You see, like, you ever see like the reflection in the? It'll just be driving me crazy. And I mean, like, no, I can't. Like sometimes we watching YouTube videos, and like people that wear the glasses, like you see like the ring light stuff. I just can't. It be driving me crazy. If I look a little crazy too, it's because I'm getting ready for bed. But don't mind that. Don't mind any. Don't mind any of that. Anyway, um, so if you want to know something about me, I'm currently working on a novel. When the Saints hold on, I know the title, but um, When a Saint is Silent, and it's gonna be set in the '90s in Los Angeles. But um, what is it? Right now, like sometimes I'll be working on them, just like, can I really do this? Is it too much? Even is this idea even possible? But I mean, I've come a long way from when I started working on it. I began working on the idea of the story when I was a senior in high school, but I didn't pick it back up again until I was a senior in what was it? A senior in college, which was dang, it wasn't too long ago. It was like 20. Yeah, graduating in 22, so yeah, like the spring of 21, like so like my junior year, but like going into my senior year. But anyway, while I was working on my novel, I decided to write a piece of flash fiction, which is there's micro flash fiction, which is like 400 words, and then there's like that in itself, which is 1,000 words. But so it's anywhere between like 300 or 400 to 1,000 words, something like that. But anyway, I decided to. Oh shoot! Hold on, I'm sorry. What in the world? This this here is my writing journal, and all these little tabs. Like I don't really like trying to organize things in like Google Drive too much, so I got all these different little tabs. And like so, in my writing journal, I have like keepsakes or like keepsakes, which is like let me show you an example. I'm not trying to go on and on, but like I collect leaves or something. I'm into plants and stuff. I'm a weirdo like that. What else we got? Oh, I got like brochures in here. I got like I kept like this packet thingy, because I think as writers sometimes too, like we're trying to see like what people ate or what people did, or like we're trying to get all the nitty gritty details, and sometimes you can't be finding this, so I just be collecting stuff here and there, just and throwing it in my writer's journal. So like for keepsakes, so those are the purple ones. The red ones here are like the stories that I'm dealing with my story. Like if if I have like if I have an excerpt, hopefully I said that right. Sometimes I don't be pronouncing things right, but that's just because of my accent. I have like excerpts, um, so see like the little pieces of paper or like rough drafting. I do these little chain of events for plotting, so I put those in there. What else we got here? What else we got here? Yeah, oh, snippets too, like let's say I have an idea for a story, like beginning title. So those are the orange ones. Let me see. Or for a poem. I have a poem in here I'm working on rough drafting. Maybe I can put it into um, a magazine or something. It's not too bad. It's actually I have two in here. One's called Caught in the Crosshairs, and another one is called, it's like Black Eyed Susan, which is I just like kind of went into depth about the structure of a Black Eyed Susan, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I might I might put up excerpts or snippets or pieces up on my website, like the drafting part of it, to see like where it came from. I'm not really too sure about the Caught in the Crosshair poem. I don't know if I just want to make it a poem or spoken poetry. I'm into the spoken poetry because I'm into rap music. But that's besides the point. Anyway, let's go on. And then what else was here? Oh, I have the green ones, which is journaling. Like maybe I do morning pages, or I'll just write a little short journal entry. And then the pink ones, I didn't come on here to talk about the writing journal, but it's in here in my hand, so I might as well just talk about it. That's just how I am. I don't know if I don't think I got ADD or nothing. When I was the 8th grade, a teacher did ask me if I have ADD, but I don't think I do. Anyway, the pink ones are like when I read a story and like maybe I like a line from it. So like maybe I like have something with descriptive, so I'll write that in pink, and then the blue here. This is just what I do. Because writers need mentor text. And so what I do is maybe I'll like something from the story, an adjective, and then I'll say maybe why I liked it, and I'll write that in blue. Those are my own ideas, my own opinions. If there's like a part or section I like the way like it transitioned or flowed, I'll highlight that in green. And then the blue, like I said, are my own thoughts. I got a different type. I got a few. This is my second writer journal, and then this is my first one. So it started this one in 23. Yeah, 23. December 23rd. December 2023. Yeah. So yeah, I've been trying to do this a little bit more. Make sure you got a writer's journal. And then something. Sorry, I went out of view. But something else I have. I'm gonna like Mod Podge. I want to buy one of those little printers, and like do a little Mod Podge collection. This was something I bought from the Dollar Tree. You don't gotta spend a lot on no writing journal. I bought this from the Dollar Tree, but I decided to make a commonplace writing journal, which is like you just like collect pictures and maybe a quote interests you, or you write down an article that you like. I saw a YouTube video on this one morning when I woke up and I was being lazy, trying to get out of bed. I told myself I had to get out of bed, but then I caught my attention, so I said, let me watch a few minutes of it. I said, oh, this is interesting, and then I watched it at lunch. But you just write in like quotes you like, movies you like, maybe a summary of the movie, a summary of the book, but I have a reading log for that, so my books are kept separate. Maybe if there was, like I said, a YouTube video you like, you'll write maybe a one-page summary on it, or one-page summary on the article, so you can come back to it. So yeah, there's that. But the reason why I came on here to make this video before I started rambling on was to talk about flash fiction. Which are between 400 and 1,000 words. So I'm sorry that I got on a whole thing about writing journals, reading logs, common ground, writing journals. But writing flash fiction, there's a contest that I want to try to. I don't know if I'll be able to enter it, just because, and it's due on the 28th, but I think I will. But it is a flash fiction contest, which is done by the Flash Fiction magazine. You can actually just type in Flash Fiction magazine and it should pop up on your browser like I did. And the entry is only $30. But if you win, hold on, I got it pulled up here. If you win, first place you get $500, and then second place is $300, and third place is $200. But with each place, also you get a monetary prize and you get published on the website. But not only that, I was reading the good thing about. They say that they will edit your work, give you advice, and then even if you aren't published here, a lot of people get published in other magazines with the advice that they gave them. So I said, why not give it a shot? You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, why not give it a shot? I mean, I had this like, the idea I have though, maybe I might expand it into maybe a short story later on, or I don't think it'll be a novella. I think it might be a short story. I don't even know how much a novella is. I know it probably won't be long enough for a novella. I'm about to look it up. Hold on. I'm about to see. I'm about to see something. Oh, no. I don't think it's going to be this. No, 1700. No, 17,000, 40,000 words. I think there's novella essays or something. Something like that. There's like flash fiction, short stories, something before the novella, and then I think there's novels. Something of that nature. But it might be just like 30, maybe 30 pages or less if I expand, sorry my foot itches, if I decide to expand this, what is it, this flash fiction into something larger. I kind of have an idea of where I wanted to go after this. So yeah, but I don't know about the ending, but I do know like we meet the brother then if we are going to expand this on. But anyway, but I decided to enter into the competition if I get it done in time, which is August 28th is the deadline. But here in my writing journal, I wrote it down. I'll probably put, maybe by the end of the week, hopefully, I'll put bits and pieces on my website to be looked at. Maybe the process of what's in this writing journal here. Like, I actually, for the first time, I read, when I've always been interested in writing. People have always told me I was somewhat good at it, so I thought I'd settle down and try to do my best. I mean, I went to school to be an educator. I do love teaching kids, but I don't know what's going on with the job market. I'm fighting for my life over here, so right now I'm just QA at a plant that I don't want to be at, but here I am. But I said, well, I told myself, well, I'm already like, what else do I have to lose? You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I mean, right now it feels like I've been putting in effort. I've been reading a lot about writing techniques, and one thing that I implemented from a book I read called Description and Setting, which is part of the Write Great Fiction series. And let me tell you, that Plot and Setting by James Scott Bell, that one was pretty good. That was probably like, because a lot of authors were talking about like plot structure, you know, and I was just like, okay, you get to point A to point B, but like he really breaks it down to like, here's a 3-act structure, here's your beginning, here's your middle, here's your end, here's things that you can use or should be done to help set you along. That's why I've started using, instead of using the 3-act structure though, I started kind of using this chain of events where like I create the box where I'm like, okay, they're in a car and then like the car crashes. That's not something I'm writing about, but that's like an example. Then I'm like, well, how's the car gonna crash? And then how's this gonna happen? And then for me it's just a chain of events. And so I just put them in a little box, draw an arrow, put in a little box, draw an arrow, draw another little box and draw an arrow, you know. I tried to, when I first did it, and I'm sorry, I did not mean to make this video longer than what I need to. I'm just going to say this last thing and be gone. But for my novel that I was working on. And I did kind of use it for this flash fiction as well, but not as much because it's only 4 scenes, which is something that I've kind of actually read an article and it actually did pretty good. Maybe I'll link, if I can find the article again and find the books and stuff, which I should be able to find the books. I'll just link them in the description. And if you guys like, maybe you're trying to teach others how to write, or you're trying to become a better writer yourself, you know, or maybe you just like to read, then click on the link, find it in your I found mine at the library. Go to your library. Before you buy a book, go to the library first. It still helps the authors and it helps the library, so do that. But anyway, I'm sorry for rambling. Anyway, this was when I'm working on my novel, so you can see I draw a box. And I usually start at the end. So I'm like, I usually have an idea of how I want the whole scenario of how I want it to end. So I'll start with the end, and then I'll just go all the way down, and that's how I make it look. Sometimes I put boxes. Sometimes I put I put some sticky notes up in there, some good old sticky notes, but the sticky notes were just taking up too much space, and I said, we can make this, we don't need to take up all that space like that, you know. But yeah, sorry, but that's all I wanted to say though. But like I said, if while I'm writing this, if you're interested in, and I'll probably, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. But if you're interested in reading a little bit about the drafting process of the flash fiction or of my novel too, you can look on my website. The links are in, they should always be in the description box. I'm not really too sure about how things be working. You know, sometimes I think I have it connected properly and it ain't connected properly, because I am not about the technology too much. But I have it linked in the YouTube description, or I think also too you can go to like the channel thingy, and like, you know what a bio picture is when you click on somebody's channel and there's like says a little bit about them, and I think the links are in there or something like that. But there's, you click on it and I think it'll take you to my link tree, and then you just click on the website or something like that. You can follow me on Instagram and Threads and all that stuff, and I'll probably post an update there where you saying like, yeah, you can come read it if you want to. I ain't forcing nobody to read it, but if you want to read it, that's okay. I just like to tell stories. I think that's what writers are. We like to tell stories. We like to tell storytellers. I'm just working on perfecting my craft. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I have to say. If you're writing too, good luck. If you like to read, good luck. And thank you for listening to my rambles. Thank you for listening to my rambles, and that's all I have to say.